You know, considering that this is going to potentially happen, or it's going to happen, or it already started to happen, if you were in that situation and, people were saying that, we need to do something in this community to I guess, do some of the homework that, or the housekeeping that needed to be done in this community for years, opposed to what they're doing now, what do you think some of the suggestions would have been, or if you were in that situation to deal with, how would you deal with this problem?
Well, I would lay out the rationale for it. Why are you doing this? Because we don't like non-natives and they're taking advantage of. You said they're not really the only ones taking advantage of services. It hasn't gone to the level that it should be in discussions about ensuring what I was just saying, our culture and language and whatever, our people, and why. And people have a lot of problems just with that. They don't really believe that our people should be Ogwehongwe people, Mohawks, or everybody. So you got our dissension and conflict there with people who maybe are harboring these people in their homes. They can actually defend that position by saying, no, we were open, we were inclusive, we welcomed everybody. So you have to go a little bit deeper and to say, okay, why did we do that and for what purpose? How far back do we have to go into thinking to say, where did we come from and why did we want to be there? And then work at, okay, these are the things that we need to talk about, to put in place, to realize and really understand and be committed to. But you can only take ownership of something if you really incorporate it into your own thinking. We need to talk more at that level about where we want to be and why. And then these things will come and fall into place. It will be a logical sequence of events that would take place.
But at the end of the day,
illogical.
at the end of the day, a decision has to be made, and I guess council's there to make those tough decisions. Whether people agree with it or not, they've decided that they were going to do this. Like, what I'm saying is that, do you think that this is what they should have done, or was there another step that should have been taken?
I think there should have been another step taken. I think they should have called upon the people in the community, because the people are obviously on somebody's land, in somebody's house, and saying, look, there's a problem with this. And for whatever reasons, there is a problem. Let's talk about why it is a problem and what we're going to be able to all together understand that what can be done about it. So to each of you in your own homes, and take responsibility for the future of our people, our land, and our resources. And what can you do as an individual? You say Mohawk or Ngwehongwe, person Ganawagerdono of this community. What can you do to help us to get where we all want to be? So the choice comes down to, first of all, I think that should have been attempted to the individuals, instead of having individuals' hair in the back of their neck stick up and then take their shields out and their guns out and get so defensive.
Well, I think they were saying that they had called some of the individuals and asked them if somebody was living there, and they were saying we know because we had complaints. And I think it went from there. Obviously, you get a phone call like that. What do you do on the other side of the phone? But regardless of the circumstances, I guess it's a wait and see now. I think that the curious people in the community that know that they're not in that situation are waiting to see who's on that list. I think that it right now it's probably more of a scare tactic or a threat, saying that okay, there's 26 people that we identified. We're hoping that if there's 50 of them, they're gone before this comes out, because they don't know if their name is on that list or not. People are going to take action. I'm sure that's going to happen. There are going to be some individuals and say, look, I don't want to put you in that situation, I'm leaving. But then there still may be some hardliners. I guess we'll see how that's going to work out.
And then the remainder of the 100 people living, and then who's next? It's really a sad situation that we're in. And I think if there was really the right discussions taking place, this could have been resolved a long time ago. But there's still the opportunity to to deal with this in a positive way. And you mentioned also like the generation today. You know, I have a lot of teenagers hanging around, and they're pretty smart, and they get it. You know, and they say, but why then this and why then that? Like, yeah, I know and you know, I'm almost embarrassed to say that. Well, now you want to know about the politics. Now you want to know about what's going on here, about management of our community. It's they get like, oh, it's just, you know, everybody's knocked off the pedestal in their eyes, you know, but they're very, very smart, and they even have both. They have the desire to do things that need to be done, but they have the compassion that goes with it. And I think that's a valuable resource in our young ones. And I think I may attribute that to maybe the schooling, and of course they've gone to have their language, and more than what we ever had. We had nothing. We had nothing of our language or culture taught to us in our schools, and maybe even our own families. But these kids have a lot of that, you know, and the media, they have exposure to things we never had
That's
before.
for sure.
That's a big
there's so
resource
much,
right there.
And I think that's where the message is going to get out. I thank you very much for coming on and give us some insight as to, I guess, some of the background information, sort of, to speak on this. But I think it's going to be a tough issue to deal with for the next, I don't know, forever how long. You know, I think that with the initiation of this now, and how is it going to go later on, I'm sure that we're going to have more shows on here. I'm sure that you're going to talk a lot more on it on Mohawk Radio.
Yeah.
So once again, thank you for coming on. You've been watching On the Record. If you have any questions or comments surrounding this show or any other show, you can email us at mohawktv@hotmail.com or call us at 450-632-NEWS. That's 450-632-6397. Nyawa and Onigiwai.